if the goals are big enough, they pull you through. If your goals are small, then when you're hit with a setback, you just don't care anymore. And you're like, I can't deal with this. And as an entrepreneur, we're hit with tons of setbacks at different times. So you just need enough to. We are live. Welcome to the Ask Jason show. It's always weird asking me. Welcome to the Ask Me show. It's funny. I just did a podcast and I was just in Nashville with Taylor, and we did a podcast together. And he's like, "Look, dude, I think you need to call the podcast the I Love Jason Portnoy show. I think it would be really good for marketing, because then people would be like, I love Jason Portnoy, and they'd be like, what are you talking about?" I'm like, yes, just the intros would be a little bit weird if I was like, hey, everyone, welcome to the I Love Jason Portnoy show. But he's like, no, you should do it because we all love Jason Portnoy. And I'm like, well, that's very nice. You could call your show the I Love Jason Portnoy show, and I'll be more than happy to be a guest on it. But we do have a podcast called Perfectly Mentored. And that is where, if you don't listen live, you could go catch it out. And I interview some of the top people in the world on there. So you're going to want to check that out. I'm also pulling up something as well, that we are having our first ever live event. So depending on when you're listening to this, you're going to want to head on over to go.amplifyconsulting.co/Amplify Live. You're going to want to go head on over to that. I think it's Amplify-Live. So go.amplify-consulting.co/Amplify-Live. And we're doing a live event in March of 2024. So March 25th to 26th in Orlando, Florida. It is going to be a fun time. You're going to want to come. It's where I'll go over stuff about how to grow your business. I'll change your life pretty much if you come to this event. I'll change your business and your life. I'm confident in that. And so I think you should all head over to that. Perfectly Mentored. If you're interested in working with us, we got an agency called JPORT Media where we help grow and scale businesses. And if you need attention, well, who doesn't need attention? Because attention precedes sales. So if they don't know you exist, they can't buy from you. And if they keep forgetting you exist, they can't continue to buy from you. So that's what our agency specializes in. We specialize in getting you awareness and increasing your revenue and your profit, and working with you on making sure you hit all your goals. Now, if you want to learn all about business and you want to become a better business owner, operator, employee, whatever it is that you want to get better at, we also have Amplify Consulting, and we have a mastermind inside there where we meet and we talk about how to grow your business and how to build the business around the life that you want, because so many people have that backwards. They build the life around their business, and that just doesn't work. I've been there. It makes you very unhappy. Makes you a shitty human. So let's not be shitty humans. I don't know if we could swear on live. I've never really tried that before, but now you're not seeing this anymore. If we got cut off, now you know why. But our mission at Amplify is to build better businesses and humans and help you understand that it's your business, it's your life, and you get to do it on your rules. So if you want to learn more, head on over to jportnoy.com. That's my website. I'll put it actually right now in the banner right here. Just head on over to that link, and we have all the different ways of working with us. That's it for housekeeping. I think like the whole point of this show right now is that you get to ask questions and not me get to shamelessly promote our stuff. But once in a while, we are going to do that because it benefits you. It helps you. So why not? I am joined by the lovely Megan. Megan, how are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
It was good. Yeah. How was yours?
It was good. Flew back from Nashville and I got really lucky. I got lucky in the sense of I always like to fly out, as you know, first thing in the morning so that I'm home to see the kids and play with the kids for the rest of the day versus coming home in the evening and then I get like 10 minutes with them. And then I sometimes if you're late, you miss bedtime and then I don't see them. So I like coming home earlier to be with the kids. So I wake up early and I take like the first flight out. But I had to fly through Detroit, Nashville to Detroit, Detroit to Montreal. And Woke up, no problem. 4 a.m. wake up, head to the airport, get on the plane, get to the airport. I go there, and as we're pulling away, they have to de-ice. So Nashville, if you don't know, just got hit with a cold front, very cold. Montreal weather cold, by the way. I was cold there, and I'm from a cold front area. They got hit. They got hit pretty hard, and lots of snow. And apparently, when snow happens, they got 6 years worth of snowfall in like a week, or like in a few days. And apparently, the amount of snow there was like just like a regular morning for us. Like I'm looking outside right now. This would like shut down Nashville based off what we have outside. But no one knows how to drive and no one knows how to do anything. And I've never seen this before. So we went for de-icing. And while we're on the plane, the de-icing truck bumps into the plane and breaks something.
Oh.
So the pilot says, the pilot's like, I've never been in this situation before. If you felt that bump, the de-icing truck slid into us. And now we have to go back to the gate.
Oh.
So we sat back at the gate. An hour goes by and he's like, all right, they were able to fix it. We don't have to change planes because there was an option that we were almost had to like get off the plane, and they were able to fix it. But now we have to go back out for de-icing again. But don't worry, they're bringing us a new driver. So we're all like, okay. But now guess what? I missed my connecting flight. My connecting flight's going to get missed. So I'm starting to look. The next flight only gets me in the afternoon. So defeats the whole purpose. I'm like, man, I'm going to get like 10 minutes with the kid. It's going to suck. I haven't seen them in a bit. I've been in and out over the last like 2 weeks, as you know. I've been in and out. I'm like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. I feel bad for my wife. She's like dealing with everything. She's like holding down the fort. Such a champ. Whenever I travel, she like holds everything down. And she's like, all right, this sucks. And, she's already like had enough. She's like, get home. That was the text, just get home. And I land in Detroit, and they announced that the flight going to Montreal was delayed. And it was delayed, and they're about to finish closing boarding for it. So if you're from Montreal, get off the plane now and go. And I was able to get on the flight and get home an hour later than what I was really supposed to. And worked out great. Got to play with the kids. So had a lucky weekend, was able to come home, saved myself 5 hours, and everything works out. Like just when you don't let it bother you and get stressed. But no one absolutely cares about any of this story except for you. So we're just like having our own private conversation live. So let's get into where we actually help people, because that's the point of this show. Come in, ask your questions, put them in the comments. I'll help you around any area when it comes to business, life, what movie to go watch, what should you eat today. I mean, I'll try to help you with whatever you need. And Megan fields the question. So Megan, it is your turn now.
Okay. All right. Our first question.
That was a long talking. That was a lot,
long intro.
Yeah.
Our first question is from Josh. What's your favorite tool or software that you like to recommend to your clients in Amplify Consulting?
The tool that they need. I mean, it's a weird question, and right away we're going back into spicy Jason. Like you're like the questions to pull, like and they kind of get me going. That's a hard question to answer because I don't know if you need a drill or a hammer or a screwdriver or whatever you need. So if you're like, hey, what tools do you recommend for people to build their funnels or their landing pages? Well, we use ClickFunnels. What CRM and email software do you recommend? Well, we use Keep, Infusionsoft. What do you recommend for booking like appointments? We use Calendly. What do you recommend for, building community and building your mastermind on? Well, we use Circle. But there's an option to every single one of those, right? You may not like Circle. You may like School. You may not like ClickFunnels. You may like Go High Level. You may not like Keep. You may like ActiveCampaign. There's all these different alternatives. It doesn't really matter. It's what we use. It's what we use well. We have experts, on our side that could help you with whatever software that you need. But it's what we use. So I feel comfortable recommending things that we use. But more importantly is like, you need a drill, you need a hole in the wall. I'm not going to tell you what screwdriver to use, right? I'm not going to tell you what hammer, unless you want to make this ugly hole and just go like hard with it. But I will tell you what drill. I'll tell you need a drill, and then you'll ask me what type of drill, and I'll tell you what drill I use. But go out and buy any drill to get going. So the tools are less important than what do you need them for. So if Josh, you want to come back on, and you want to ask a specific question around like, what tool do you recommend to do X? I'll be more than happy to jump in that way.
Okay. For an e-commerce business, what's the ideal amount of campaigns for Facebook ads to run at one time? Is there like a magic number? And this is from Terry.
There's absolutely no magic number, and I don't care what anyone on Twitter is going to say or anywhere or any expert's going to say. There's no magic number when it comes to any of these things, right? Meta will tell you simplify, and the less the better, right? We just want everything, but it depends how much money you're spending, and it depends, are you exhausting your audience? So I'll give you a perfect example. So let's say you're going to only run conversion campaigns. If you're going to only run conversion campaigns, then you're only going to reach a certain segment of your audience anyways. But if you're spending like $100,000 a day or $10 million a month, whatever it is, eventually you're going to dry up that pool of people you're going to reach, and you need to expand outside of that hole. So imagine there's a giant ocean that you could fish out of. The way Meta works is that if you use a conversion campaign, they've said, okay, this is the area of the ocean that has the fish that are most likely to bite. But you're hitting all those people, and now you need to reach back out, and you need to maybe create some brand awareness or get people who aren't necessarily ready to bite to come in and buy. So they sit there and say, well, if you run a video views campaign, for example, that's just to get people, the goal of it is not to get them to buy, but rather watch a video. Well, then you'll reach a bigger part of the ocean to fish out of. But if you're looking for bites, that's not really the right place, right? This is just more for you to observe the fish and let them know you even exist. So, if eventually you're going to need to expand as you scale, and you're going to have different objectives, and those objectives have to be in different campaigns. So there is no magic number. I do believe in simplicity, but I've seen accounts where they've had one campaign, one ad set, and per ad. So one by one by one, and they had like a bunch of stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can simplify that probably in one campaign and then many different ad sets with one ad per ad set if you really want to test. But there's no magic number. It's just a matter of who's running your ad account and how in control do you want to be, and how often do you want to check, and what you want to do. And you can use automated rules to do a lot of these things, but there is no magic number. There's just things that work well. So even across our media buyers, there's different strategies, and sometimes we'll test different strategies on different accounts and find what works best, and then try to bring that to another account and see, and maybe it doesn't work for this account. Maybe they can't simplify, maybe they need more. So there's no magic number. It's just what works for you. But if you're just starting off, I wouldn't just do like a billion campaigns. I'd start small, have at least 3, a top of funnel, a middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, or even if you don't want to do that, like I would have like a testing campaign, a top of funnel, and a middle/bottom of funnel retargeting campaign. We like 3 to 4 campaigns to start off, and then I would say, like, depending on what your goal is and how many different audience you want to test and your budget, a couple of ad sets, and then 3 to 5 ads per ad set, depending on your budget.
Okay. This is from Sarah. How effective?
Sorry, I just want to go back really, really think. Everything is dependent on your ad account. So don't take this and then go rechange your entire ad account. It depends what you're working. It depends on the budget. There's so many variables in it. That's why I hate giving blanket Facebook ad advice, because so many people do that and they have no context into what that person's goals are and what their business is. So, so if you want to dive deeper, I'd say book a strategy call with us or our team, and we can help you learn a lot more.
Okay. This next question is from Sarah. How effective do you think videos or reels are compared to images when it comes to getting your brand out there and gaining followers?
I'd say reels probably do a better job of getting you out there to gain followers. If followers is your objective, just because they're seen by less by people that are outside of who's following you, they just get seen a lot more versus like images. Images tend to like not really get seen by people who aren't following. But Why do you want more followers? I mean, like, what's the goal? Maybe your goal is to just have like 100 million followers, and I'd say run ads to get followers, um, but don't get caught up in the vanity metric. But if it's to grow the account, and I get that, then I'd have a good mixture on there. So what's funny is like our reels do well, but lately our images get more engagement. Our static images get more engagement. I think just because now everyone moved to the reel side. So now it's like kind of like, that's what always happens. Like everyone like tries something different, and then everyone shifts that way. And then the algorithm tends to be like, okay, well, we need people to come back to this, right? We can't just be this. And they kind of move things back a different way. But I would say if you're starting somewhere and you want the best shot of getting more exposure, reels are probably your best bet.
Okay. What's one thing I can do each day to keep myself motivated and not discouraged as the owner of a new e-commerce store? This is from Justin.
Good question. You're new. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be problems every morning. So review your goals, review why you're starting this, get in touch with who, what's the name of the person who asked this question?
Justin.
Get in touch with the Justin in 10 years from now. What does that Justin look like? We lose motivation because our goals aren't big enough. And if our goals are big enough and they stretch us, then we are able to handle and weather the bad days because they just pull us through. Now, people die in the bad days because their goals aren't big enough to pull them through it. So they're just like, man, this sucks, not worth it. And they just give up. Did I lose you, Megan? So until Megan comes back in, I'll talk about it. I'll answer the question. But if the goals are big enough, they pull you through. If your goals are small, then when you're hit with a setback, you just don't care anymore. And you're like, I can't deal with this. And as an entrepreneur, we're hit with tons of setbacks at different times. So you just need enough to kind of pull you through. So I'd make your goals. I'd make sure you're paying attention to your goals, make them as big as possible, and do what you need to do to pull you forward. So you'll weather the bad days because you'll be happy and you'll be like, this is all for the mission that I want. And when that goal and mission and that why is big enough, motivation doesn't become the problem anymore. So hopefully that was helpful. We lost Megan, so I apologize for the technical difficulties. And Megan, I apologize that we're not going to get to your favorite part, which is asking your question. And I also don't see any of the questions that are up. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Let us know you're watching the replay, and I will see you next week. And have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.